Hello Wolfpack, I just want to preface this video by saying, wow, this has been quite the 24-hour period in the market. I'm going to say, just outright, I've never really seen anything like this before. This is definitely some sort of manipulation on a mass scale. We had, obviously, the El Salvador news about a day ago yesterday, and then shortly after, a massive depreciation in price very, very quickly. If we hop over to Twitter here, we can see on this post that I did, long liquidations of around 3.1 billion, in most of which in just a couple of hours. So, massive, massive amount of money being wiped away from the market in a very short period of time. What we can see is that, this drop, and if we zoom out, we can see that this drop was probably caused by, greedy leverage traders, in which, the whales, the market manipulators, the institutions, whatever they may be, they might even be the central banks, took advantage of this and saw the opportunity to short the price, causing a chain reaction via some measure that hasn't really been kind of distinguished yet. But it's possibly related to El Salvador, and essentially the price just went spiraling downwards in form of a chain reaction. We couldn't really catch any support, as you can see. In just 1 hour, in this 1 hour candle, we depreciated over 6%. And if any of you are watching this, and you've probably seen YouTube videos today, I mean, I assume if you're watching this video, you've seen dozens of videos going all over this, but that's just incredible. And I don't know if you guys were there watching that happen, but I've never seen something like that before. And I think this is a good reminder, guys, that this market is still very immature. Crypto is still a very immature market that can drop that quickly, regardless of whether it's manipulated or not. Is a market you should be cautiously investing in with money you can afford to lose. Money, because at the end of the day, guys, that's completely unprecedented, and the fact that it was completely unpredictable as well. We were seemingly going very well. Yes, we were expecting some sort of a correction. We'll get into the TA. We have Bitcoin charts, Ethereum charts, and Bitcoin dominance charts up, but not to that extent. And this is okay though, because look, on the hourly chart here, we'll start off with the hourly chart because I want to get into the TA, because you've probably heard all this 5 times today. You've probably seen all the YouTube videos going over what might have happened, all these theories. But at the end of the day, we are where we are. And at the end of the day, if we look back, we go on the daily chart, we can see we're trading currently at 46,000. We were at 46,000 just a week ago. So this is a good reminder, guys. Yes, this drop was fast. Yes, it was unpredictable to, some sort of extent, especially the speed of it. But we really haven't dropped that far down. We have been capturing support. We caught support here at 46k. We held that for a while, 47, 46. We recently dipped down into the 44k region, in which we have a support block of 44k before a major support at 43k to 40k. And we found support at 40 and we quickly jumped back up. What we want to be seeing in the short term, by the time this video gets out, this might be resolved already, but essentially what we want to be seeing is we want to be seeing these MAs. We've got the Gaussian channel, 100, 26, and 12 SMAs. We want to be seeing them catch up to the price, because currently we're in free fall. All of our short-term MAs have been lost. We have seen a bullish MACD cross, and we've seen that histogram flip back to bullish. But we're technically in a free fall. We don't really have any support besides the actual price supports itself. What we do have here is a bullish divergence on the RSI, which usually is an indicator that the bottom is coming in. So yes, we may drop a little bit more. We may drop into that 44 region again, 44k, but we have that bullish divergence confirming that the buying pressure is slowly outweighing the selling pressure, and there will probably be some sort of reversal very shortly. It's just the question of whether that reversal will actually, recover us back to where we dropped from is the big question. My answer to that question, yes, I think it will. And we can look into, for example, the daily chart before we get into the weekly to answer it fully. The daily chart, this is probably my biggest concern with the market right now. And yes, I am bullish. I still hold my prediction 120k to 150k, but I have said multiple times in my Telegram group that this is my biggest concern with the entire market structure right now. It looks very, very similar. I'll circle it for you. This move here that we've made since July looks very, very similar to the move we made from January to May this year. All right. What we can observe is this kind of move up here in January looks similar to this. All of this consolidation period looks very similar to this. And we've recently broken up and made that 64k kind of look alike. And now we're breaking below the channel. All right, and we're broke below the channel. So what we could be expecting is a bounce upwards and then a drop down. Now that's the bearish scenario. Do I think that's actually going to play out? No, I don't think that's going to play out. There's very different market conditions now than what there is. We also saw a break of this RSI downtrend. We broke to the upside. We closed above it. We did not see that in the earlier move. We also, if we look in the weekly chart, and this is where I'm really getting quite bullish here, we've managed to hold that that bull market support band, which is the 20-week SMA and the 21-week EMA. When we saw that drop down in May, we did not manage to hold that. Obviously, we haven't really given this time to play out, but if we can manage to hold this 20-week SMA, this whole bearish scenario in which we go straight down from here, will be invalidated essentially. So what we really want to be seeing on Bitcoin, and this is the biggest thing, the most important thing that everyone should be watching out for, will we hold this bull market support band? Now, no one, in the words of Benjamin Cohen, who's a pretty big crypto YouTuber, no one's going to get out of bed for a wick. So if we wick below it, that's fine. But we want to see no closes below this bull market support band, because that will confirm that we've lost that major support zone, we've lost that bull market support, and we'll probably head back down into the 30K region. Do I think we're going to close below it? No, I don't think we're going to close below it. If we look here, we can see that we've tested it here. This is September, and we were expecting this, by the way. If you look back on my channel a couple of weeks ago, I uploaded a video called Red September. And essentially, I predicted that we'll be going down to this bull market support band, and we have seen that. We've just seen it, much quicker than we kind of thought would happen in terms of the drop itself happened very fast. But this is very, very typical. Septembers are not usually bullish, and I think everyone has got that memo. We just kind of neglected that information a bit as we moved up into September, and we thought maybe this one would be different. But, market trends do play out, fractals do play out, and people like to say that, just because something happened in the past doesn't mean it'll happen now, but in crypto, that tends to be the case, and that tends to be the best, most reliable indicator of what's going to happen in the future, actually. So if we look at September, we've tested that 20-week SMA. It's bullish so far. We've bounced straight off of it very, very quickly. Within an hour, we were way back up to 47K. If we look here at a previous September, we had September in 2020, where we did a similar thing, but we actually stayed in that for a few weeks, up to a month, in which we were testing that for a month straight. We haven't seen that right now, so I'm thinking that for the rest of September, what would be the best case scenario for Bitcoin would actually be to stay around this region and retest it for a few weeks before heading up into October. That's what I want to see. Whether that will happen or not is not certain, because we can look back at previous retest of the bull market support band. And we can look at one here in September 2017. Notice how all of these tests come in September, right? And we've outlined this before. 90% of the tests of the bull market support band come in September. September is typically a corrective month in which we come down to retest that zone. And most of the time we hold it. So that's bullish news as well. But we can see in this September here in 2017, we had simply one test in form of a wick, which looks very, very similar to what we might be having now. And, from that region, we managed to move up, and that was around 3K. And then from there, that was in September, and by December, we were at, 20K, 450% up. So if something similar happened to that, and that's definitely possible, that could be a good scenario. You can see here in 2019, we only tested it once as well, and that was on the breakthrough. So we don't have to come back down and test it again. This wick could be fine, and this would form, a bullish hammer if it ended up closing correctly. But I think it would be preferable to build that support area in the market. September's not going to be a particularly bullish month. Everyone, there's a few people on Twitter who are calling for all-time highs in September. I never really thought that was going to be the case. If you look at all my Telegram posts, all my YouTube videos, I never thought that was going to be the case. September's typically bearish. I'm not really going to go, with the cyclical theory on this one. I think September's going to be a red month for sure, or at least a sideways month. And then going into October and potentially later in the month is where we'll start to take off. And October, we'll see new all-time highs. And then December, we'll see, and November and December, you will be price discovery. And then just like in previous cycles, Q1 will be altcoins' time to shine. And, that might lengthen in this cycle because we have lengthening cycles and diminishing returns now. That might go all the way to April, as I've said. But, I'm kind of going to stick to the 4-year cycle theory and saying that I think it's going to go into January. It just could go as long as April. And I'm not going to be out here claiming that we're going to be seeing a super cycle, because I think that is illogical. I think that you should stick to the trend until it ends. Don't predict this cycle to be different to the last one, because, people have done that in previous cycles and every single time it's failed. So why is it going to be different this time? And you can give me points, because El Salvador's using Bitcoin as a legal tender. You can give me all different points about why this cycle is different. I'll believe it when I see it. That's just my personal investing strategy. We've just witnessed how volatile this asset class can be. I'm not going to be sitting around holding my Bitcoin when it's at 200k, waiting for a pump to 300k, because, if it drops, it's going to drop to 150k very, very, very fast, and the altcoins are going to drop 50% very, very, very fast. I'd rather lock in the profits, leave, 20, 30% in the market in case of that scenario. And if it ends up going higher, if the super cycle is confirmed, you can always buy in a little bit higher. I'd rather buy in a little bit higher than lose, 50% of the profits, or, even worse, be stuck holding for a 3-year bear market. That's probably the worst case scenario. So, look, I think we're looking good on Bitcoin. I think we're probably set up for our 120k, 150k prediction by Q4 or Q1. Still 100%. I don't think this changes anything. This is certainly in line with what I've been expecting. I did expect a retest of the bull market support band, just not this quickly. If we look at Ethereum, Ethereum's very interesting. Ethereum's been making a massive move, and I honestly think it's well within our time for a correction on Ethereum. We moved up, in just one weekly candle from 3,200 to 4,000, almost retesting our all-time high at 4,400. But we cut short, and, we closed at this resistance line, if we draw it out here, at around just under 4,000, and we had a close there in May as well. We only wicked up to 4,400. So we've actually technically made a double top here on Ethereum if this candle closes red. What I will be looking for on Ethereum is to hold this 3,000 support block. So 2,850 to 3,000. That's what we want to hold. Preferably, that's the bare minimum. Preferably what we want to be doing is closing above 3,350, because that would confirm a higher high on Ethereum, a higher low on Ethereum, and the upwards trend will have continued even with the red candle as a correction. So 3,350 is where we want to be closing above on the weekly chart. I think Ethereum looks okay. That double top is definitely intimidating, but I don't think that's going to matter in the larger scheme of things, especially if Bitcoin reaches new all-time highs. It's definitely going to blow past. But looking at the Bitcoin dominance chart, we have this fractal that we've explained multiple times. If you want to see the full explanation for the fractal, it takes a while to explain. I have explained it in previous videos, so go and check out, I'll leave a link to the description, a video in which I've explained it. But essentially, I will be expecting Bitcoin to pump up here, the Bitcoin dominance chart to pump up as Bitcoin makes its decisive move, because Bitcoin, and a lot of people say as well, Ethereum's going to overtake Bitcoin in this cycle. Again, I'll believe it when I see it. I think it's a long shot. I think that, until that happens, Bitcoin still controls the market. So Bitcoin has to outperform altcoins for at least a time when it's making new all-time highs, in which we'll see this Bitcoin dominance chart pump up according to the fractal. Maybe not as high as 60. That's just a rough guideline. I think we'll definitely retest the support block here at around 50% Bitcoin dominance, before dropping down when altcoin season begins, and that's when Ethereum will really start to perform and reach my price target of around 12 to 14k. And that's into January or, past that point. So I'm thinking that Bitcoin dominance is going to rise shortly here in line with this fractal, and then drop back down as altcoin season continues. I'll leave a explanation of that fractal in the description below. So overall, and if we look at the hourly chart as well, overall, we're not looking too badly here on Bitcoin. A correction was needed. Obviously, the speed of which was completely unpredictable and a bit scary. But that's the market, and no one said this was easy. This is not free money. No one said it was going to be free. Shakeouts like this do happen, and it's just a harsh reminder for us to secure our positions, not be overly extended, and make sure to take profits. This was a pattern of exhaustion from the start, so it was a bit of a red flag, and we did outline that multiple times. But ultimately, the rest of the year should be bullish, and Q1, that's my personal opinion, we should be heading up. And, if you look at it, if you think about it logically, for us not to head up here would be a very big, dangerous spot for Bitcoin, because we reached our all-time high in 2017 around 20k, and we've reached our all-time high this year of around 60k, all right, 64k, we'll just call it 60k. That's only a 3x, all right? And every single bull market before that, we had, 100x's, 50x's. The last one was a 20x. This one's a 3x. So if this was the all-time high, I think crypto's in danger here in terms of new investors coming to the market. Because if you think about this, with the diminishing returns theory, if this was only a 3x, what's the next cycle going to be? A 50%? We're going to reach 80k, and we're going to wait 4 years for that? I don't think so. I don't think that's the case. I think the rest of the year is going to be bullish, as I said. But that's my view on the market, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Join our Telegram group. I post multiple updates a day on the short-term and long-term price movements of Bitcoin and the major market movements, as well as altcoin trading signals, or signals in which I express interest in altcoins, as I like to call them. I don't like to give direct trading signals anymore. It's a little bit too, it gives me a little bit too much responsibility. Hate to say it, but if I see a chart that I like, if I see something playing out, I'll definitely post it in there and let you guys know, as I've been doing for the last few months. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.